I believe quantum entanglement can change your life if you allow it. And in today's training, I'm going to be proving to you how you can apply it to your life so you can finally live the life that you've been wanting to manifest. 7-figure business, dream girlfriend, living your dream city. And the best way to illustrate this is how I used it when I manifested my very first supercar at the age of 24 years old. And that supercar, for those fanboys of you, was a GTR. This particular Nissan GTR, fully built out. I'm going to tell you about the story about it in a couple seconds. When I was trying to buy my first supercar, I was 24 years old, and I was thinking between this and an Audi R8, and I ended up going up with the GTR. And if you guys know the Nissan GTR, it's a stock car, right? But what I wanted specifically, I wanted all the bells and whistles. I wanted full bolt-on. I wanted this thing to look like Grand Theft Auto, Fast and the Furious, carbon fiber wing, carbon fiber interior, front lip, wheels, Bosch wheels, everything. And what I was doing at the time was I was shopping on the car sites, and I was not able to find the car that I was looking for. It was either too high priced or they came stock. So what I started to do was I started to think, okay, I will add it, right? So I went onto different sites. I started creating my cart of all the things I wanted to put on my GTR. And this is where quantum entanglement came in. Because I started using the laws that I'm going to be covering in today's training, I ended up going to sleep to the feeling of the wish fulfilled that I had exactly what I wanted. I stopped trying to search. I was overwhelmed, searching page after page, day after day.
Look at this shit.
And then I applied these principles of the quantum entanglement. And one day I got up on the site, it was Car Gurus, and the perfect GTR had shown up out of nowhere. And when I tell you perfect, it had 14,000 miles. It had a single owner, and the owner prior to me had put on nearly $80,000 worth of stuff into the car. I'm talking full bolt-on, 700 horsepower, and I ended up purchasing that car. And so that car was waiting for me, but it was hidden behind the matrix, behind the code, behind the simulation, waiting for me to first align with it. And that is what we talk about, quantum entanglement. So that was how I applied it. Now let's get into the training so you can learn how to apply it for your life and finally hit that 7-figure business. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Let's go ahead and let's run today's training. Get out a notebook. If you're still watching right now, you have the attention span of a winner. Most people can't even sit down for more than 10 minutes to learn how to change their fucking life, but you do, bro. So let's go ahead and let's build our dream life. Let's get it. This is the same type of trainings I give to my high-ticket clients, so I'm going to be giving you guys the sauce, no holding back. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Magnificent obsession, okay? So here's the first section. Behind the hidden law behind goal achievement, and this is what I call quantum entanglement. You're not going to hear this from anybody else in the way that I speak about it, okay? So what you are seeking is seeking you. That was said by Rumi. And everything you've been ever desired is already connected to you. You just need to learn how to feel it. You need to pull it into you. And we talked about this in the last video when we talked about a G's guide to living your dream life, quantum jump into your dream life, that there's infinite versions of you living in the quantum space. And let's just say you're making 10,000 a month right now and your goal is to make 100,000 a month. The simple fact that you can see yourself making 100,000 a month means that that's already created. There's a frequency for there. We just have to match that frequency. And what you'll start to do is you'll start to attract the people, situations, some circumstances in order for you to manifest it. That's exactly how I went from 2,000 a month to 100,000 a month, twice scaling two separate companies doing the same exact principles, right? So that's what we talk about. It's already created. All you have to do is pull it in, which is the point of today's video. So you've heard this before, but you've heard this before, but what if it was more poetic advice? What if it was scientifically proven? And so here we're talking about this quantum entanglement. So let's talk about what this means. Quantum entanglement is one of the most mysterious and undeniable phenomena in the quantum physics. Here's what scientists have proven. When two particles become tangled, they become energetically connected on levels beyond time and space. Now, I want you to bear with me right here. We're talking about manifesting your dream life. We're talking about reprogramming your subconscious mind. We're talking about paradigm programming. We're talking about all the principles that I learned from Bob Proctor, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Neville Goddard, so you can finally live your dream life, bro. Like, I do these things, and I actually live this in my real life. I had actually, fuck yeah, look at this, guys. Like, here's all my study programs. I didn't plan this, but I'm on this side of my room now. But look at this. You see this? Like, that's one, that's two, that's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, guys, this is literally $100,000 worth of Bob Proctor programs. So, like, I have all of it. I mean, you got reality transurfing. I mean, guys, I got all of the workbooks you can think of. I got a stack more right here. The point of what I'm saying is, I practice this material in my real life, and I've been able to live a fun life and live my dream life and manifest a lot of things. And my goal here with the YouTube channel is to teach you how to do the same. So when we're talking about this idea of quantum entanglement, we're tying it to you actually living your dream life. So when scientists have proven that when two particles become entangled, they let me fix this here. When two particles become entangled, they become energetically connected on a level beyond time and space. No matter how far apart they are, from opposite sides of a laboratory to the opposite ends of the universe, when one particle changes, the other responds instantaneously. You can kind of see this right here. When one is pointing up, the others will point down, all through time and space. Okay, so here's another nice little visual. In quantum physics, particles can become entangled, meaning they are connected in such a way that the state of one immediately influences the state of another, no matter the distance between them, meaning through time and space. So why does this matter to you? What the hell does quantum entanglement have to be with you scaling to 100,000 a month, having your dream watch, living in your dream city, and living the life that you want? Why this matters to you? Your vision, your fantasy, your goal is not just a daydream floating in your mind. The moment you imagine something that you truly desire, you have made contact with that frequency. We talked about this on the last video, right? You are now matching that frequency. So let's just say your paradigm, the frequency in which you're operating on. Let me open this for you here so you can see me better. So remember, you think on frequencies, your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. That's gotten you to the certain position that you're at right now. So what we want to do, in order for us to hit that 100K per month level, the level that you want, we have to start to think, act, and feel like that person. Therefore, we fuse with the frequency, and we're going to download all the information, time, situation, money, circumstances, everything that you want will be released to you once you match that frequency. Y'all follow me here. So what we're doing with this quantum entanglement, there's a law behind it that we found in quantum physics that the moment you can match that frequency, the things in the unseen space begin to move towards you. What you are seeking is seeking you. This is what we've been saying for some time now. And we're trying to prove this now. And I'm trying to prove this in multiple different ways, that whether you come from science and quantum physics like we're doing now, or whether we're saying that coming from a spiritual standpoint, which I'm sure you've heard before from one of the mentors I've spoke about already on this video, it's all going to make it happen for you, bro. And the moment you imagine yourself with something that you truly desire, you have made contact with that frequency. You begin to fuse the frequency. That's going to be another lesson we're going to have later on. We'll talk about fusing the frequency. So if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. And in a way, if we want to come about it like in the quantum field, like Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you can see it in your mind, you've already touched it in the field. Bob Proctor used to say that if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand, bro. All that kind of stuff. I used to visualize myself having a nice little Rolex like this. I used to visualize myself living in Dubai, driving all the cars, all this fun stuff you guys see me doing in Dubai. And I honestly, like a guy that came from sleeping in a car and just visualizing this stuff, man, I just truly believe that this thing can really change your life if you take it seriously as much as I've taken it seriously in my life, right? So that higher version of you already exists in what scientists might call the quantum field of infinite possibilities. This is known as the formless substance. Whether if we want to come from it from like science of getting rich, we call it the formless substance. If we want to come at it from Think and Go Rich, we're going to call it infinite intelligence. If we're going to come from it from Bob Proctor right here, we're going to come about it and we're going to talk about the matrix, the simulation, or what we call the spiritual subconscious mind or the paradigm, right? Whatever mentor you come from, it's all going to come from the same places. Does that make sense? So my dad's going ahead and calling me because we're connected in the quantum space. Tell him, Dad, aren't we all connected? Yes?
We all connected.
That's
7 days a week, 365. DeAndre is the best.
Love it. All right, Dad, I'm going to get back to recording. I'll talk in a little bit, okay?
Call me back.
Yeah, we'll do. All right, gentlemen, so let's keep running with it. So the higher version of you is already exists in the quantum field of possibilities, okay? And so you and that version of you become entangled the moment you choose to emotionally claim it as real. So I want to expand further on this because just claiming it emotionally is not enough. Remember, I said we have to fuse the frequency, thoughts, feelings, and actions. So the moment you fuse with that frequency by making a decision, you've now become entangled with that ideal, meaning that idea and that frequency wants to become transmute, means it wants to become manifest. One spiritual law, which I've talked about before, which I'll discuss right now, it's called the law of perpetual transmutation, which states that any image that you form in your mind, and then it will come into pass if you put the frequency behind it. So if you see it in your mind, it will then put feeling behind it and then take into action. Eventually, it will become manifest. If you don't believe me, let's take the Rolex, for example. This was first an idea in somebody's mind and then is now holding on my wrist. We could talk about it with the iPhone. We could talk about it with the device you're looking at, right? That's called the law of perpetual transmutation, which means that any image that a human holds in his mind and it begins to manufacture or move towards, it will become manifest. That's a spiritual law. Okay. So when we come back over here to our training, you and the thing that you want, the version of you become entangled. So you right now where you're at in your current field, right? And we jump to the higher version of yourself making 100,000 a month or more, right? That version of you has become entangled in the matrix, and you begin to claim it. The moment you claim it is not just with your, oh, I feel it, woosah, it's thoughts, feelings, and actions. So how this looks spiritually and practically. So number one, you fantasize about a better life, right? That's the first step in anything, bro. You're gonna have to want to be better. You're gonna want to have to do better. Like, fuck, bro. When I used to sleep in that car, let's talk about okay, so I talk about that time a lot when I was sleeping in my car for like 5 months. But we're gonna talk about the time right before Bob Proctor. Man, I remember, Bob used to talk about this book right here, Think and Go Rich. And I was listening to all of his YouTube videos, and I was driving for Uber at the time in San Diego, California. I was driving Uber for like 4 months, broke, busted, disgusted, about to turn 24 years old. Nothing was working out in my life. And I remember just listening to The Stranger's Secret like 3, 4, 5 times a day. I swear to God, I listened to it hundreds, maybe 1,000 times prior to starting with Bob Proctor. I would listen to it over and over and over again. I think as Bob would talk about it and I would just listen to it, and then I watched all those YouTube videos, but nothing was really changing in my life after about a month. And then when I went to go work with him, that's when everything started to change, bro. It's like when I started getting into like these study programs I hear with Bob Proctor, and he said, yeah, well, he gave me one at first. Like, then I started going overboard. Like, come on now. So he gave me, actually, it was this particular workbook right here. He gave me this one. This is a secret one. I'm not going to give you guys the sauce on this one. All right. He gave me this book and said, DeAndre, if you study this material, this is the exact words, you'll need a telescope to look back at your life. And 6 months later, I had earned over $500,000. So that shit changed my fucking life, man. So if you really apply this stuff, it'll change your life. So the first step that Bob said was get out this workbook. Second thing, he said, get a gold card. How much money do you want to earn? And we'll talk about this in a minute. I wanted to make 100,000 a month, and I hit it in 45 days. I wanted to make a YouTube channel, and I started a new one, and boom, first month, $100,000. And I was like, man, I can really do this. So the first step you're going to have to do, bro, to pull yourself out of your situation now. If you're only making 6 figures a year, fuck, bro, you need to start making 6 figures a month. We all need to be making 6 figures a month, if not more, like $1 million a month. Why the fuck should we limit ourselves, right? So that's number one. Number two, you need to feel drawn towards a vision that feels bigger than your current situation. We'll talk about this in a minute. The goal that you're going after has to draw you out of your current situation. You cannot be going after something that you know how to do. You have to go after something that's so much bigger. And this is something that confused me for a long time. And you emotionally invest in that vision by believing it's possible, right? And we'll talk about this. You begin to move towards it with new thoughts, feelings, and actions. What you're not taught is that something unseen is moving towards you. And this is the point of what we're talking about. There's a quantum reality that whenever you're altering something in the frequency, in the matrix, with your thoughts, feelings, and actions, is somewhere in the matrix, somewhere in the unseen world, based on quantum physics, you are altering the unseen. That's why I talk about you're projecting on the code. I don't know if I have this image right here. Let me see if I have it here. Let me see if I have this particular image I want to show you. Now, here we go. This is the image I want to show you guys. I'm sure I'm sharing my screen, my entire screen here. But this is what I talk about often. It's like, here we are as the observer. Here you are, G. You're the bro that's going out there that's going to change his fucking life and conquer the world, okay? But with your eyes, right? You have two types of senses. Let me make this a little bigger here for me. You have two types of senses. You have spiritual senses and you have physical senses. Okay, your physical senses are see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, right? Your dog can also see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. But what separates you from all the living creatures is your spiritual faculties, which is imagination, will, reason, perception, memory, and intuition, memory, imagination. Fuck it. There's another one. Can't remember off the top of my head, right? But there's 6 of them, right? I teach this to my clients. But the point of this is you're looking at your senses right now, right? You see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. And based on what you see, you're observing the 3D world, right? You got your little girlfriend right here. You got the money, the business, right? The lack of money or the abundance of money, the car that you drive. For some of you, this is a fucking Toyota. For some of you, it's your fucking GTR. It's your S63 AMG. It's your Lamborghini. It's your Ferrari. It's your Bugatti, whatever the hell you want, right? The point is that you are looking at this 3D world. And the important part behind it is behind this entire 3D world is a matrix. It's a code known as the formless substance. If you come about it from Science of Getting Rich, it's called the formless substance. If we want to come from Think and Go Rich, He's going to call this infinite intelligence. If we want to come from a spiritual world, we might even call this what Bob Proctor calls law of vibration, right? All things are connected. Where the fuck you want to say it? Science or Dr. Joe Dispenza, the quantum field. Fuck, everybody talks about this same thing. There's some type of code behind this 3D matrix, and this is what this illustration shows. Then this is what the ones and the zeros are. There's a code that whatever you impress upon the code will then reflect in your 3D reality, and that's what we set as our goals. You got me feeling me? You feeling me here, bro? So let's keep running it. So what you're taught. Sorry, what you're not taught is that there's something unseen behind the scenes that you're altering the moment you fuse the frequency. But you have to fuse the frequency. If you've been doing this work for some time and you're not seeing results, you're not fusing the frequency, bro. You're not doing it. And no matter how much information you take on, if you don't learn how to do these principles, you're gonna get fucking frustrated, bro. And let me tell you this: the number one thing of frustration is here. Let me tell you what the definition of frustration is. You're frustrated because you know what to do. You've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos. You've been in business now for more than 6 months. You bought a bunch of courses, marketing, funnels, emails, copywriting. You've hired this guy. You've hired that guy. You're following this guy. You're watching a bunch of YouTube tabs, and you have the information, and you're trying to piece it all together. And you go out and you work hard. Let's be honest. You're probably on the hub sometimes. You probably wake up late sometimes. You know, you may miss the diet. Like, you're not perfect, but you would give yourself like a B to an A plus. You're pretty fucking locked in, but yet you still feel like you're missing the cusp. And you're like, why is this not working for me as much as I take on? And what that builds frustration. Just because you know how to do something doesn't mean you're going to do it. And that's called the knowing doing gap. And that's another lesson we'll cover. And that shit will fuck you up if you don't watch it. And it'll just frustrate the hell out of you. And bro, if you resonate with what I just said right there, you are falling into this gap what I talk about as the knowing doing gap. And it'll frustrate the shit out of you. Because it's not just about gathering information. It's about understanding these laws and how to implement it, which is exactly what I teach my clients inside our coaching program, right? You can find that first link in the description below if you want help to learn how to do this, right? So continuing. This is the power of the entangled intention. So remember, this is what we're talking about. The moment you fuse the frequency, you're altering states unseen. This is a law proven by quantum physics. So the future you are dreaming of is also pulling you forward, sending you signals, synchronicities, and opportunities. Remember, whatever you're seeking is seeking you. As you're going out there and you start to think, feel, and act, aka raise your frequency and start to fuse the frequency of the higher version of yourself, that thing is also seeking you, and it's going to meet you halfway, right? Because whatever energy you're putting out, quantum entanglement means that you are altering things in time and space through time and space, right? So it could be in another fucking universe, in the multiverse, same time. That's fucking higher than my pay grade, right? I'm just a 3D motherfucker right here living in this world. But multiverse, like shit that's going on in multiple versions of us in the Matrix, in this kind of like kaleidoscope of this matrix, right? Follow me here. Multiple things are going on, and so all I know is if I do these laws, it starts to happen. That's all I'm trying to teach you here. Let's keep running this shit, okay? So the future you are dreaming of is also pulling you forward, and it's going to meet you halfway, sending you signals, synchronicities, and opportunities. You are not chasing it, you are meeting it in the middle. And as Rumi stated once again, what you are seeking is seeking you. You are matching the frequency, fusing the frequency, your thoughts, feelings, and actions, and then that will then meet you halfway. You realize when you manifest that first 100K month, that was only half of it, right? You did one half, which is the things I talk about here on the YouTube channel with my clients. The other half was done in the unseen world. It met you halfway. Wouldn't that blow your mind? Okay. So the spiritual law behind it, Neville Goddard called this the law of assumption, assuming the reality of your desire now, knowing that the unseen forces of creation are already at work. And Bob Proctor called this vibration and attraction. Right, we can even go deeper, and we said this, right? Bob Proctor called it vibration and attraction. The moment you tune into a frequency, everything on that frequency starts to move towards you, or we call it the formless substance right here in this book. This is actually the book I'm studying right now, Science of Getting Rich, or we have Think and Grow Rich right here, which we call this infinite intelligence. It was all the same thing. And so why most people miss out on this connection is they bring doubt into it, bro. This is why I make those lifestyle videos. For some people, it doesn't resonate with them, but I make one kind of lecture style video like this. Then I make one with the iPad where I do integration. And then I do a lifestyle stuff in the car, in the fucking, here in Dubai with the watch, all that kind of shit. For some of you, you don't really care. The purpose of what I'm doing is I'm trying to motivate you that you can do more, you can have more, and that's because you can become more. And I'm just trying to inspire you from multiple different angles, whether it's lecture and information like this, whether it's integration in business, or whether it's with the lifestyle, whatever it is, I'm trying to hit you from all different angles. And the point of this is that you cannot have doubt in here, bro. You're going to have to rise up above your situation. You're going to have to reject the projection around you, project all the fucking shit, all the turmoil, all the shit that you don't want, and say, fuck that. This is the life that I'm going to live. And you can't just say that with motivation, because you've already done this. And where the fuck has that gotten you, right? So results. And I'm talking, and if you're quantum leaping, congratulations, bro. Congratulations for playing this material. Hit me up and let's, come hang out with me in Dubai. We'll go have some cigars or go smoke some shisha or something like that. But if you're not, then bro, you gotta lock the fuck in. Let's go. So you cannot have doubt. And overthinking, right? They begin to overthink. What's another way of missing the connection here between you and the quantum entanglement of your dream becoming manifest? Is that you begin to overthink, and that what that does is that releases the pull. They overthink instead of feeling the pull. Overthinking. We talked about this on one of the other lessons. They wait for signs instead of becoming the signal. And I love that one right here. They wait for signs instead of becoming the signal. And this is why I love this lesson right now, quantum entanglement, and why I know you've never heard this before. Because like a lot of these people, a lot of you guys, like you're waiting for something outside of you. Like I told you guys that, like so many different stories of how I applied this material. Like the time I packed my bags, I was working with Bob Proctor. And I didn't have the money to leave to Medellin, Colombia, because I knew I couldn't really be successful sleeping on that couch and being in such a negative environment. So I ended up packing my bags as if I was going to Medellin, Colombia, and I didn't have the money. My grandma asked me. She said, "DeAndre, do you even have any money?" And I said, "Grandma, I don't have money for a taxi to take me to a hotel, even if I had a hotel. Like I know I didn't even have $30 to my name, but within 48 hours, $3,000 came into my life, and it changed me. And I took my flight to Medellin, Colombia, because my bags are already packed. Right? Quantum entanglement. We talk about these quantum activities and creating the vacuums in the space. And I know you never heard it like this, bro. So what we're talking about here is that you need to become the signal. Stop waiting for the fucking money, dude. Like, I don't know how many times I need to say this. I just try to be as direct. Some of you guys don't like it. A lot of fucks are like, they don't like my channel because I speak raw. I'm here to get you rich. I'm here to get you paid. Some people think this shit's flashy. Some people just want to fucking read books and feel good. Fuck that. I'm here to drive a fucking Bugatti. I'm here to help millions of people. I'm here to write a book. I'm here to have events around the world and change millions of people's lives. I'm here to have my name be said for years after I've died, such as Bob Proctor's name. He has changed my life forever, and I will do the same. And guess what? I want to live a fucking rich and abundant life, and so do you. And anybody else can fuck off, right? I don't care if they call it materialistic, because at the end of the day, we're going to live our dream life. We're going to live in our dream city, with our dream watches, with our dream wife, with our dream family, become strong men, build a life of our dreams, be rich as fuck. That says fuck you money, all of that shit. And then we're going to help people in the process by helping them level up their frequency and elevation. Why can't it be two of the same? Why can't I do this? Fuck everybody else. If you're on the same boat as me, then you're on my team. Let me know in the comments below if you're on my team. Fuck everybody else, man. I'm here to get fucking rich and live rich, be rich, and help others get rich. And I love it, man. And I'm not going to fucking back down from that shit. Everybody's going to fuck off. I don't know. I just be in hype because I feel like people look at you sideways when you have a lifestyle or want to live a lifestyle, or they make you like, oh, don't flash it. Fuck that, bro. From where I come from, I'm going to live up every moment of this shit, and I'm going to help others do the same because it's amazing. I've been rich and I've been poor, and I love being rich. So the connection to you and your goal, man. So check this out, bro. Your goal is entangled with you in the quantum field. The moment you fuse the frequency, I have to put that caveat. You have to fuse the frequency. So the moment you fuse the frequency, you become entangled with the goal. And setting an intention locks you into it. But there's more that we're gonna have to do. I'm just keeping this super simple, okay? And it starts moving towards you the moment you begin moving towards it. And this is done with your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So here you are in the quantum space. Imagine this is the projection. Remember the code behind you. This is the code behind the projection. Here you're in the formless substance. You're in the infinite intelligence. You're in the level of vibration, and you're sending it out to your signal. And here, whatever it is that you're defining as your goal begins to move back towards you. And the more you amplify that with feeling states and assumptions and quantum actions, the more you amplify the signal between the two, life will begin to look very differently for you. And so here's a key principle for this. The version of you who already has your desire is entangled with you with you the moment that you begin moving towards it. So the moment you go out there and you select the life that you want, it begins entangled, meaning whenever you change something in this physical world, you become entangled with that outside of you and it begins to move towards you, right? So what's the one result you what's the one result you desire that feels impossible, but you can't shake the feeling that it's already yours? And that for me at the time was making 100,000 a month, and it happened. All right. And now what it looks like is fuck it. I have my goal card on the table, but it says I am so happy and grateful now that I'm a global icon. Right. I make $1 million per month in personal profit. I have 1 million YouTube subscribers here. We have 100,000 affiliates promoting our programs. We're traveling the world, global icon, written books, just like changing people's lives and just being the most authentic man, because I really love this material. Like you guys can see, like this is just not fake. I have all these fucking, look at all these books and stuff. Man, I just have all these books and stacks, and it's not fake fucking books for Instagram. Like this is my study material that I just use in my personal life, and I enjoy it. All this Bob Proctor programs. And I just wanted you to go out there and I want you to live your dream life, bro. Like, you don't have to live small, but you're going to have to take fucking risks, dude. You know the amount of risks that I had to take to get to where I'm at? And it's nothing compared to where I need to go, but fuck, man, hiring Bob Proctor when I didn't have the money, moving to cities when I didn't have the money, doing things when I didn't have the results, and I kept fucking going, bro. I kept fucking going no matter what the outside world was saying. And this is what it means to literally live the quantum entanglement life, man. You're going to go out there, you're going to have to get out there and get changed with your life. So we have more to expand when it comes to quantum entanglement. So we're going to make a part 2 and a part 3 series. So if you want help with this, first link in the description below, it'll point you, fill out the survey, it'll point you in the right direction of what's the best program for your budget and your needs right now. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video. If you got a lot of value from this, let me know in the comments below. I'll keep making more videos like this. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.